Welcome to the 1993 Hill Rally, a unique off-road event based in the Welsh Marches. After a 20-year gap, this demanding test for road-legal four-wheel drive vehicles is in its second comeback year. If you're wondering what sort of folk get involved in this form of motorsport, well, let's meet a few. First of all, there's Stephanie and Rachel Simonite, who surprised everyone by winning last year's event by a very comfortable 3-minute margin.
Why can you drive so quickly then, do you think?
Mainly because of the car that I'm in. Has been built specially for, not just for this event, but events like this. And it's got a lot of power, and I'm not frightened. I've been driving since I could walk off-road in the fields and things, so that's been a good experience.
Now, Rachel, do you ever wish that you could be driving? Reverse the roles.
No, not really. I've had a go at driving and it's not my forte, unfortunately. No, I'd rather be sat at the other seat.
Do you ever tell her to go a bit slower?
Never.
And that must rate as one of the understatements of the year. In fact, the Simonites are a family of off-roaders. Dad here runs a four-wheel drive garage in Bradford, so you might expect the whole family to be kitted out with these purpose-built contraptions.
Now, of course, your husband's got one of these marvellous machines, and the two daughters have, but you're rumbling around in an old Land Rover here.
Well, the vehicle that Stephanie is in is actually mine, or was built for me, but being the kind mother that I am, I've let her drive it this weekend. So I'm in this Land Rover, which is a bit of a handful after the buggies.
Now, motorsport is very expensive in all areas. You hear of rally cars costing £150,000 and so on. Are these special vehicles expensive?
They're reasonably cheap. When you're talking about 150,000, yes, they're a lot cheaper than that. The main thing is time. Your own time preparing your car steadily. That's what the main contribution to the sport is.
It's more years than I care to remember since I last took part in a competitive off-road event. In fact, it was this very hill rally. Now, I'm not competing here today, I've got more sense than that, but I thought I'd like to relive the memories, so my friend Selwyn Kendrick is going to show me the ropes. Selwyn, along with fellow organisers John Williams and Dave Mitchell, knows this land intimately, which prevents him from entering the event because all hill rally stages must be driven sight unseen.
What would the co-driver do normally? Would I have to tell you anything?
Yes, that's right. You're looking out for the land. Just make sure you'd say there's road dipping away. You drive it as you see it.
My goodness, we're going up a house side. I notice it's automatic. Is that a good thing?
Yeah, well, uphill it'll change automatically on its own. So I don't have to dip the clutch, losing power at any one time.
Well, I must say I've done a few rallies in my time, but I haven't been quite as close to the trees.
That's right. And it's not as smooth, I think, is it right?
You can say that again. Oh, put your wipers on.
Wipers on now.
Oh, triple wipers, that's good.
Triple wipers, how's that?
I can only see out of one eye now. I can see why you wear glasses.
Oh, well, thank the Lord that's over. What an experience. I feel a gibbering wreck. It was like a crazy Big Dipper. I've been in there for about 2 minutes. The competitors have got 2 days, 100 miles. Good luck to them. Mercifully, I wasn't given a ride in the 25-year-old Land Rover of Stephen Ramsey and Sheila Wilson. Fitted with an old 2.2 petrol engine, it has leaf springs all round, which does have a somewhat marked effect on the handling.
Well, you're inclined to bounce and take off. You'll sometimes go 4 or 5 feet in the air rather than staying on the ground. Of course, if you're in the air, you can't go forwards, so you have to learn how to bounce it along rather than just drive it.
So what are your favourite bits of an event like this?
I have to have them rough because I haven't got with a small engine. There's no chance of me catching the big V8s on the smooth hillside. So I'm looking for the rougher stuff, and I've just got to have the nerve to go into it as hard as I can. So I enjoy those, yeah, and I enjoy the water, because she'll merrily got to windscreen depth water without any bother at all.
And so to business. Car 1, day 1, stage 1 of this year's event.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Setting off at the head of the field isn't necessarily the best position for driving stages blind. But although the girls had no tracks to follow, the ground at least held firm to give them clear passage. Certainly by the time Paul Drinkle's device attempted the same thing, the terrain was a lot less forgiving. And when the backmarkers arrived to experience their first taste of hill rallying, it was damn near impossible. After the second stage, the competitors made their way to the peculiarly named Sweet Lamb service area. The Simonites were already in trouble. The girls had picked up a 5-minute penalty for clocking into a stage too early, and Dad's luck had been no better.
Now there's lots of activity here. What's happened, David?
We've lost the drive to the front axle. We think it's either the CV that's gone or the inner half shaft. In a few minutes we'll know what the problem is.
That sounds like pretty big work.
It is. We've only 13 minutes to do it in now.
So what's the cause of this?
We don't really know. Possibly me too heavy fault.
If it was any consolation, there were others who'd also had the odd hitch.
The last mile of the last section, we had no wipers. We hit this hole because we couldn't see a thing. But they've got them going, thank God.
We got stuck in a bog and we tried rather hard to get out of it, and must have put some strain on the diff, and then we changed down to go down a very steep bank, and it went bang.
Out on stage 3, meanwhile, the Simonite sisters' rapid progress was about to be rather unceremoniously halted.
God! There, to right! What are you doing, man? Can you see? No! Oh. Go on, we're not going to get out of here. Bloody bonnet's come up now. Hey, bonnet's bloody come up now.
Hello.
How was that, Mum?
All right, thanks. Yes, very good. We haven't been stuck yet, so I think 1 or 2 have, haven't they?
Your husband's in a bit of trouble.
Has he done a half shaft or something? Yeah, we heard on the radio. Yeah. Have they mended it?
Yeah, he's just gone out. You just missed him.
Oh, good.
On stage 5, Dave Marsh, a fireman from Plymouth and part of the Devon and Cornwall off-road team, was busy finding out that the terra firma was not quite as firmer as it looked.
The mud is just incredible. You think you're travelling across open ground that looks hard, and you just sink straight in, lose all the power, and just got to pray it keeps going.
Somebody who was doing just that was Robin Clarkson in his Range Rover Warrior. Steady progress and no breakdowns put him out in front. Meanwhile, the wonderfully named Douglas Devonald Bat had also enjoyed a largely uninterrupted day's rallying and was challenging for the lead at the close of play. The first day of the hill rally really took its toll, with a third of the vehicles breaking down and failing to complete the course. But this is hill rallying, so with lots of midnight oil being burnt and rolled around in, all but one have managed to repair their vehicles and are going out for more. This time, Robin Clarkson had the honour of being first away. This advantage, plus his skill behind the wheel, obviously meant that we were looking at a very strong contender. Equally, the second place Mr. Devonald Bat continued to make impressive progress in an effort to close the gap. The third place girls, however, knew that it was all or nothing if they were to retain the title.
Whoa! Start her up! Straight onto it! Whoa! Yeah.
Meanwhile, Stephen and Sheila were heading towards a class win in their own inimitable style.
Oh, look at them, something to photograph.
But by now it was clear that as long as Robin kept going, the overall title would be his. The real race was for runner-up. At the beginning of the short last stage,